I hosted a map wars in Worldbox, where 4 players competed for 1,000 years. By year 1000, I pitted their nations against each other in a massive war for world domination. The magical continent of Erakil, as I like to call it, was the location of this map wars, where the players had founded and developed their exclusive kingdoms for hundreds of years. In the far reaches of the east lay a frozen kingdom, where the bitter cold and relentless blizzards reigned supreme. The Yeti people had adapted to their environment and built a thriving kingdom called the Great Yeti Dynasty, ruled by the crafty and resourceful Emperor Blacarius. Serving under him was the renowned master of combat, Abominable 2 Electric Boogaloo. A man of unparalleled strength, he had led his iconic long-lost legion on a series of campaigns that expanded the kingdom in all directions. Just over the turbulent water of Kameth River laid a great empire of unprecedented scale, the Maza Mango Empire. Its land spanned from the vibrant Mushroom Peninsula across the prosperous Jaguar Corridor to the misty prairie of Kevnava. Its people enjoyed the highest standard of living under the everlasting reign of Emperor Mazamango and his loyal servant Texca Jaguar. Aside from its advanced culture, the Mazamango Empire was also renowned for its military might, boasting an elite army known as the Maza Jaguar Imperial Guards. They had proven their mettle in battles across the empire, cementing their reputation as one of the most formidable armies in the world. Journeyed further north, we encountered another behemoth, the mysterious Mithril Kingdom, an entity incomparable in size to its contemporaries, was a nation of beauty and wonder. Starting out as a humble settlement in the middle of the endless Mithril expanse, the charismatic King Canut the Great and his trusted general, Leif the Destroyer, had led their exalted snow army out on many successful conquests that saw the Mithril Kingdom become the undisputed master of the north. At the epicenter of Erakil, where the mountains and rivers collided, the secluded Orange tribe had carved out a dwelling of their own, establishing their unique civilization of Orange Dominion on the cusp of the Orange River. In a society that valued strength above all else, Orange people wielded incredible combat ability and possessed a belligerent and hot-headed temperament. Their king, Hakoel the Crimson, and his prized heir, Hakoel Jr., were naturally among the most powerful and bravest men to grace the earth. Their standing militia, the Jaded Orange Corp, was truly a force to reckon with. Due to their unrefined culture and poor infrastructure, Orange Dominion relied on raiding their much larger neighbors to maintain its existence. At the beginning of the Great War, a massive army of Yetis crossed the bridge of Kameth and invaded the Mushroom Peninsula, which was under the control of the Maza Mango Empire. The Yeti men carried out raids on Borderland City, killing numerous civilians and setting buildings ablaze. In the north of Belina Field, at Eagle Pass, where the border between the Maza Mango Empire and the Mithril Kingdom met, the two powerful nations engaged in their first major battle. The fight was intense as men from both sides got involved in bloody close-quarter combat. In the end, Mango Empire proved its superiority, crushing enemies while sustaining only minor casualties. Using that battle as momentum, they established a firm foothold in Mithril's lands, though Mithril would not give up on regaining their lost territories easily. The region devolved into a brutal war zone, where hundreds of soldiers from the two sides were dispatched. Another army from the Great Yeti Dynasty attempted to invade Orange Dominion by forcing through a heavily fortified passage. Simultaneously, a large army from the Mithril Kingdom invaded the nation from Central Plains. Despite being surrounded and heavily outnumbered, Orange Dominion managed to fight off all of them. With watchtowers providing cover, Prince Hakoal Jr. led his men in the front and charged down the invaders with relentless fervor, wiping out most of the enemies at Iron Pass, while to the north, an ambush also took out Mithril army. Maza-Mongo Empire has finally responded to the terrible Yeti incursions. They mobilized 2 large regiments that managed to surround the ill-prepared enemy at the town of Borderland. In turn, the Yeti dispatched reinforcements to relieve their army. The Battle of Kameth was a massive one, involving 450 men from both sides. On the battlefield, the Mango Empire initiated a clever pincer attack and was able to effectively destroy pretty much the entire Great Yeti. This disastrous loss, coupled with the earlier failure at Iron Pass, practically crippled the fighting capability of Great Yeti's southern provinces, which Maza-Mongo Empire readily took advantage of to subjugate pretty much all of Soundless Lowland. Great Yeti Dynasty suffered another major setback when a group of more than 300 soldiers from the Mithril Kingdom crossed the unguarded Whitebone Pass and snatched a huge portion of their core territories. As the kingdom was in great peril, Emperor Blacarius resorted to summoning his trump card, the notorious long-lost Yeti Legion. The Legion quickly marched down south, a series of victories, especially in the Battle of Serene, where they massacred the main force of Maza-Mongo. Brought Soundless Lowland back to the Imperial's fore. Their conquest did not stop there. General Abominable II, Electric Boogaloo, proceeded to cross Kameth with his troops and ravaged the western domains of Maza-Mongo Empire. The conflict across the demonic steppe had reached the climax. Which prompted Knut the Great to withdraw the majority of its regional army in the desolate tundra, which had been gaining tremendous ground to reinforce the eastern front line. Little did Knut know, it was a costly decision that would return and haunt him in the far future. Meanwhile, a colossal Mango force of over 550 men, among which included the legendary Texka Jaguar Imperial Army under the command of Grand Duke Texka Jaguar, annexed Madarin City, an important settlement on the eastern fringe of the Soundless Lowland. Using the city as a springboard, the Empire would conduct frequent skirmishes against Great Yeti Dynasty and the small warlike Orange Dominion. In an act of retaliation, King Hakoal the Crimson sallied forth with his men and ransacked the countryside, causing a great deal of trouble to Maza-Mongo. In one of his usual sorties, the king was inadvertently noticed and encircled by a gigantic Mango host. Knowing his time was up, King Hakol cast a cataclysmic forbidden spell called the Nuke. Instantly vaporized himself, along with Maza Jaguar Imperial Army, General Texka Jaguar, and hundreds of other men who were stationed nearby. Just like that, the Empire lost its most potent fighting force before it could make any real impact on the battlefield. The balance of power, which had always remained in favor of the Empire, began to slightly shift toward its enemies.